Okay, so first we'll start seated on top of a block. If you don't have a block, you can sit on a pillow. If you don't have a pillow and you don't want to sit, then it's fine. You can do it without the block. It just helps that if you have very tight hip flexors and your knees is all the way up there, seated on the block will then help to keep your knees down. Okay, so hands is on the knees, shoulders is back and down. Suck your belly button into your spine. Close your eyes. And focus on your breathing. Take a deep breath in. Keep it in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out. Keep it out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe in. Keep it in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out. Keep it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. In. Keep it in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out. Keep it out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Then you can open your eyes, keep your bum stacked on top of the block, and then give me circles with your upper body, warming up your spine. Then reverse the circles. Straighten out the back, keep the hands on the knees, pull your elbows to the back and press your chest to the front, extending through your spine. Flex your spine forward. Straighten out the back, keep the bum stacked and reach side to side. Last time. And stretch. Catch your right knee and twist. Catch your left knee and twist. Then turn back towards the front. Put your hands on the floor with your fingertips facing towards your pubic bone with your palms pressed down into the floor, feeling the stretch going all the way through your forearm. Then come up onto your fingertips. Then you can release it, shoulders back and down. Catch your right elbow, press down with your shoulder into the floor and drop your head towards the opposite direction. Then stretch for the other side. Then you can put both hands on the knees, shoulders is back and down. Roll your head from one shoulder all the way over towards the opposite side. Please don't hyperextend your neck to the back and then reverse to where you started. Once more. And back. Then put your chin on your chest, catch your head with your hands and press down. While pressing down, connect your shoulder blades at the back. Open up the chest. You should feel a nice stretch going through your neck into your upper traps. Now while you're pressing down and resisting with your shoulder blades at the back, slowly turn your head from side to side. You should feel a nice proper stretch going all the way down those traps and all the way through the neck. Last one. And stretch towards the opposite side. Well done. Then you can release it. Lift your bum, slip the block out. Then, while you're seated with your legs crossed flat on the floor, you'll take your one arm. We're going to be stretching our rotator cuff and the shoulder. So you'll take the top part of your palm and you'll put your wrist pretty much basically on your hip. Then you'll catch the inside of your elbow. Make sure that your shoulder blades stay level. So if you pull on it, don't turn your whole body so that you resist basically the straight. So you hold onto the inside and then you'll keep it like that. You should feel a nice proper stretch going right into the rotator cuff and the shoulder. It's not supposed to be a very comfortable feeling, so if it's very uncomfortable, that's normal. Usually if you sit in front of a desk, which most of us do now during lockdown, then chances are that your shoulder blades are pretty stiff. If your posture is not 100% at all times, which is difficult to keep it 100% at all times, then this is quite a good stretch to do. It will feel as if your shoulder is going to completely hook out of its place, but it won't. It's just pretty much very stiff if that's what you're experiencing. Okay, then you can release it, and then you're going to do the other side. Top part of the arm on top of your hip, catch the inside of your elbow, keep your shoulder blades level. Make sure that you're still seated up straight, shoulders back and down, open chest and pull. Please remember to focus on your breathing as you allow the oxygen to flow through to those muscles. 3, 2, and the last one. Well done. Then we have to do a little bit more advanced version of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to put both feet on the floor. Then you'll take your arms, you'll put your top part of your arm on top of your hips as you just did. Then you'll hook the insides of your elbows on the insides of your knees. And then you're going to try to close both legs as much as possible. This is unfortunately as far as I can go. If you can close your legs all the way, please do so. Try to make sure that you're not leaning and slouching forward. Keep your back nice and neutral. And this should be very uncomfortable if you are as tight in your shoulder blades as I am. Keep it there. Remember to breathe. In 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Well done. Then you can unhook your arms, roll your shoulders to the back. You should feel a nice warm sensation going through your shoulders as the blood is pumping into the area, helping with the healing process. Then you can straighten out both legs. Arms will be in line with your shoulders. Then you're going to slowly roll yourself down, one vertebra at a time, like a string of pearls. As soon as the back touches the floor, you'll start extending through your spine, which means you're lifting your lower back off. It's not like in Pilates. This is more for stretching now. Should be nice into the lower back. Then push down with the lower back and start rolling up. All the way up into a C curve. Flex your feet, which means you'll bring your toes up like that. Catch your toes and hold. 3, 2, and the last one. Then roll it back down. Reach with your arms, extend through your spine. Keep there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press down with the lower back and slowly start rolling back up. All the way up into a C curve. Keep it there. 3, 2, and 1. Then you can bend your knees, catch your knees with your hands and rock and roll. Now you're going to rock it, roll it, rock it once more, and as you rock it, catch your lower back and then press your feet and legs into the ceiling. Try to relax your shoulder blades, focus on your breathing. Now from here, you're going to bend at your hips and then drop your feet down to the floor behind you, putting your toes on the floor, resisting with your heels. And then if you feel comfortable, you can release the hands and put them on the floor. You should feel a nice stretch going through your neck. You should feel it going through the hamstrings. The more you resist with your heels towards the ceiling, the deeper the stretch will be. Keep it there for 4, 3. Then you can put your knees on top of your forehead. If you can bring them down towards your ears. Then you can lift your one leg up towards the ceiling, then lift the opposite leg up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your hands on the floor with your palms facing down as it supports. And then you can slowly roll yourself down one vertebra at a time, controlling it through your abs. As soon as your lower back touches the floor, you can bend your knees, catch your knees with your hands, lift your bum up, and rock and roll. Rock and roll. And the last time, rock it, roll it, and then you can stand up. Legs will be shoulder width apart in praying mountain. Your neck should feel nice and loose. Then you can inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, forward fold. Then jump to the back into a plank. I struggle with my wrists and my fingers, so I like to be on top of my fingers instead of being completely flat on my palms. Then from here, you're going to bend your elbows and drop your upper body down into hovering. If you can't do hovering without anything touching except for your feet and your toes, your hands and your feet, then you can put your knees on the floor for some support. Knees on the floor, point your toes, push your tailbone to the back into child's pose. Then slide the chest on the floor, come up into cobra. Release the hips down into the floor. Make sure that you don't collapse in your shoulders. Keep your shoulders back and down, and don't lock your elbows. You should feel a proper stretch going into your lower back, your abs. Then tuck your toes, press your tailbone up to the ceiling into downward facing dog. Release your heels down into the floor. Then jump back to the center. Both hands and feet flat on the floor. Slowly straighten out both legs. And then starting with your lower back first, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. All the way back to praying mountain. Reach and extend. Forward fold. Into plank. Drop it down to hovering. Knees on the floor, tailbone to the back, child's pose. Then glide it up to cobra. down dog. Release the heels. And then jump back to the center and roll back up. All the way back up into praying mountain. Then you can bring your arms down to your sides. Starting with your head first, roll yourself down, one vertebra at a time. Then from here, you're going to jump to the back into plank. Stay. Now while you're in plank, I want you to twist your hips towards me and then drop your hips down to the floor, but don't put them on the floor. And you should feel a nice stretch going through your lats and your obliques. So your hips should be hovered off of the floor, it's not touching. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, lift, and then swap and drop. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Put your knees on the floor, open up your knees, and then sit to the back. Press your chest down into the floor and keep it. Then you can walk your hands over towards the left side and press and resist down into the right. Three, 2, and the last one. Take it over towards the left and then press down towards the floor with the left. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Well done. Then you can bring it back to the center and then come up onto all fours. Press your tailbone up to the ceiling, extending through your spine. So with my attire, it's difficult to see me extending. So extending means that you're pressing with your hips into the ceiling, and then you should feel a nice stretch going through the lower back while connecting the shoulder blades at the back. Keep it there. In 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Now tilt the pelvis going into cat stretch. Keep it there. In 3, 2, and the last one. Then you can flatten out your back again. Then you're going to tuck your toes at the back, coming up into a plank. While you are in the planking position, you'll take your right leg, slip it through, and put it right next to your left hand. Okay? Then while you're in this position, you'll drop your bum closer to the floor, but you don't put either the knee or the bum on the floor. And then you should feel a nice stretch going all the way through the iliotibial band. So if you have very strong, very tight quads, hamstrings and glutes, chances are they all are pulling on that ITB, and then that can cause a bunch of different injuries and pain. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then slip it back under, and then swap it. Should feel a nice stretch going right there into your leg. In 3, 2, and last one. Then slip it all the way towards the back. Put your knees on the floor, tailbone to the back, into child's pose, and take a rest. Then you can come back up onto all fours. Then you're going to take your right leg, put it in front of you. You might need a block for assistance. If you should need a block, please use your block. Okay. So we're basically going to try and go into the splits. I can't go into the splits, but obviously still trying will make you feel a nice stretch going through the muscles that is tight. So your front foot will be on the floor, your back toe will be tucked, and then you're going to start walking your leg further towards the back and moving your hands accordingly. So this is where the block kicks in. If it feels like you need the block because you can't have your hands on the floor, yes, some people are that tight, then that's normal. Then just you do what you can with your body. So you'll just start walking yourself further apart until you get to the point where you can't go anymore, and then you'll point your back toe. Then you'll start wiggling the front leg as far as you can, and then you should feel a proper stretch while you're in this position. You should feel the stretch going through the hamstring, the inner thigh, and then the hip flexor at the back. Now you'll find when we go to the other side that one side is easier than the other side. So if you find it easy on this side and difficult on the back leg, then that's normal. It's always that way. One side's always tighter than the other. Keep it there. It's not a very comfortable position or feeling, so just focus on your breathing and you should feel a stretch going all the way into the areas that you need it to. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2. Now tuck your back toe and then slowly start walking your legs back together. Great job. Then you're going to keep your hands on the floor, step to the front of the back foot, and then step to the back with the right leg. Okay, and then we're going to start walking our legs further apart yet again. So the back leg will walk toe, knee, moving the hands accordingly. Take it as far as you can go, and then when you've reached that point, then you'll just point your back toe. And then you can start wiggling the front leg further to the front, and you should feel a proper stretch going yet again into that hamstring, and then flexor right there. Might feel in the inner thighs as well. Please do remember to breathe. You need the oxygen to flow through to those areas. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Then tuck your back toe and slowly start walking your back leg back towards the center. And then when you've reached the point where you feel no more discomfort, then you can slip your leg towards the back into child's pose and take a rest. Should feel some nice blood circulation going through to those areas now. Great job. Then you can come back up onto all fours. This time you'll step towards the front with your left foot. Okay, so now while your left foot is, I just want to take my socks off so that I can slip easy and not stutter. There we go. Okay, so while you're in this position, you are going to take a block if you should need it. I do prefer using the block for this specific stretch, you'll move your left foot over towards the right side, and then you'll take your right hand and hook it at the outside of your left knee, okay? Then you can or not use your block. Put your hand on top of the block, twist with your whole upper body towards the side, and then take this arm and put it on your right hip. You should feel the stretch going right there into the bum. So if you struggle with sciatica, this is quite a nice stretch to help and release the tension in that area. You can point the toe at the back and keep it. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Then you can take your hand, put it down. This time you can move the block out of the way. Then you'll take your left leg and move it over towards the left side. Have your left foot facing out. And then from here, you can go down onto your elbows. And you should feel a proper stretch going right there into the inner thigh of the left leg. Then you can come back up onto your hands. Then you'll move your left foot back to the center and put both hands on either side of the left leg. Tuck your toe at the back, and then while supporting with your back toe and both hands, you'll slip your left leg through and under into pigeon. Then from here, you can drop your upper body down, lying with your chest on top of your knee in pigeon. Should feel a nice stretch going into the inner thigh, the hamstring. You might feel it in the bum as well. All depending obviously on where you are tight. Then you can come back up onto your hands. You'll bend your right knee at the back, catch your foot, and then press your heel into your bum. And you should feel a nice stretch going into the quad and the hip flexor of that right leg. Then you can release it. Tuck your toe at the back while supporting with both hands. You'll slip and swap. So you'll step to the front of the right foot now. Put your left knee down on the floor. If you should need your block, you'll use your block. You can move your right foot over towards your left side. And then put the block on the outside of your right ankle. And then make sure that the left elbow resists on the outside of your left knee. Put your hand on the block or the floor, twist, and then put your right hand on your left hip. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Then you can move your block out of the way. Move your right foot all the way over to the right and have your right toe facing out. And then you can come down onto your elbows. If you need assistance with the block, put your elbows on the block. to make it easier to actually go all the way down to the floor. If you can't go all the way down to the floor, that's fine. You'll just do what's comfortable for your body. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Come back up onto your hands, then move your right foot back over towards the center. Put both hands on either side of your right leg. Tuck your toe at the back, and then slip your right leg through and under. Make sure that your heel, your pubic bone is rested on top of your heel, and then you can take your upper body down and keep it there. Three, 2, and 1. Come back up onto your hands. Then bend your knee at the back, catch your ankle, and press your heel into your bum. Keep it there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you can release it. Tuck your toe at the back, support with both hands, press your tailbone up to the ceiling into downward facing dog. Release your heels down into the floor while you are in downward facing dog. Keep it there. Then you can jump all the way back to the center, towards the back again, and then bring your knees down, press your tailbone to the back, into child's pose, and take a rest. Then you can glide your chest on the floor, come up into cobra. Keep it there. You should already feel your lower back is much looser than it was in the beginning. Then you can tuck your toes and then move yourself down all the way, lying on the floor. Okay, so now, next up we're going to be stretching out the big pectoral muscle. So what's going to happen is you'll put your hand on the floor, flat on the floor next to you. Then, while supporting with your right hand, you'll turn yourself over so that you're lying on your side. If your neck feels like it's hyperextended, you can put your head on top of the block. Your body will be in a straight line while facing towards the back. And you should feel a nice stretch going into your pectoral muscle in the front. You should feel it in the shoulder as well. Now, if you want to make this stretch a bit deeper, you will be bringing your knees in and up to the ceiling, and then turn your bum all the way through down towards the floor. Knees facing up, try to relax. Please don't go past what's comfortable for your body. Three, 2, and 1. last one. Then you'll straighten out the legs, drop your head back to the center. Now support with your right hand, and then slowly unlock yourself. Allow the blood to flow to the area. You should feel a nice warm sensation. Okay, now we have to do the other side. Okay, so the right hand will be on the floor. Then you'll turn yourself over towards your side, like that. So make sure that this hand is now facing flat on the floor. If it feels like you need support for your neck, please put your head on top of the block. Okay, line in a straight line. This side for me is much tighter than the other side. So if you get to a side where it feels like it's worse and you can't do or go as far as you did on the other side, then please don't push. Just do what's comfortable for that specific side. I'm gonna see if I can. You'll bend your knees, take them up to the ceiling, and then drop your bum over to this side. Oh, gee Louise. Keep it there. Please focus on your breathing. This is especially good if you struggle with slouching or if you have a bit of a kyphotic upper back, which is like, I'll show you now. It helps to open up that chest. 3, 2, and 1. Straighten it out. Drop the head back towards the center. Support with your left hand. Slowly unlock, and then allow the blood to flow to that area. Okay, so you get people that's got rotator lower back, which means their backside is very much tilted posteriorly, so they've got like a big hole right there, which makes it difficult for them to tighten their transverse, which is the muscle underneath the rectus abdominis that helps you to get a flat stomach. So a lot of people don't know how to tighten that muscle, and then they end up doing a lot of stuff out of their lower back. So if you struggle with a lordotic lower back, chances are good. As you can see, I don't have a lordotic lower back, but they usually end up struggling with lower back problems. Now, people with a kyphotic upper back is people that slouches forward a bit, like this. Having your shoulders forward, which means these muscles get very tight. So it's very important to exercise the trap muscles, the butterfly on the back, and then to obviously open up by stretching in order to help you to get your upper back better. So usually the people with a bit of a kyphotic upper back struggles with lots of tension in the neck. Okay. So now for the last, to finish it off, we are just going to do a little bit of balancing on the hands, and then after that, if you want to do relaxation, just lie, close your eyes, focus on your breathing, like we did in the beginning of the session, filling up the lungs all the way to the lower lobes, just to allow the blood to flow through the body and to relax the body. It's also very important for you to do that, to make sure that your body gets proper stretching. It's sometimes more important than training itself. Okay, so your hands will be on the floor, okay? Then what you do is you'll come up onto your toes. Now right there where your knee bends between the calf and the hamstring, your elbows will be hooked in that area, okay? So you'll hook yourself, and then from there, a lot of people are afraid of falling on their head, but you have to move your upper body all the way to the front, because if there's too much weight at the back, chances are you're going to end up tipping backwards because there's too much weight there. So you want to lean forward. So your hands is on the floor while you have your elbows hooked. In your legs, you'll lift yourself off, and then there you go. Okay. If you need to tiptoe yourself through it, then you're welcome to, and just keep it there. Keep that for a while. So if you struggle with your wrist, rather don't do it. And then if you can stand on your head, you can do that as well. It's sometimes nice nice to just be upside down. For some reason, there's a calming effect